All right. Podcast mamas are back, kicking it off with our favorite guitarist.
It's time for bed, oh, it's time for you. Mom and Dad says what you gotta do. We don't care if you ain't tired. Take it from the one whom you so admired. It's bedtime for Ella Missy. Don't you cry or go and hiss it. No more games and no running around, 'cause we don't wanna hear another sound. Just take your bell and get tucked in and don't make us swear again and again and again.
Hey, welcome back to Podcast Mamas, Navigating Life with Laughter in a Special Needs World. I'm Carly, hostess with the mostest, here with the beautiful, lovely guest, Miss Laura of Miss Laura's Life Skills. Welcome to the show, Miss Laura.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Love having you on this podcast. You are always a wealth of information in so many different ways. So very, very thankful for your time. And I know you're not feeling 100% today either.
No, I'm not. I think these allergies, I did a bunch of cleaning for another event I held at my house this weekend, and I think the allergies really just
Yeah.
got me good.
Yeah. I thought I was in the clear because my allergies usually hit without fail on Valentine's Day.
Yep.
And I got past all the way to just a few days ago. And it was like that inner nasal itch that started up, and then the continual sneezing, and then the dripping. And I'm like, yep, this is allergy season. It's here. So
Yeah.
delayed, but here with a vengeance now.
Yeah.
I feel you,
Yeah.
honey. I feel you. But I would love to hear all about Miss Laura's life skills and the fun adventures that you've been on, because you've been doing some really great outings to help out several families over spring break that we just got through
Yeah.
last week, which was really wonderful of you. So please give us a little taste of what it was like to be in your program over spring break.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, as you know, I've been hosting these like teeny tiny parties between two of my clients, and we've been doing that for a while now, and it's been going really well. And with spring break coming up, and I've been just kind of pairing my clients just two at a time in different combinations, and that's been going really well. So I thought let's now that they are all kind of getting to know each other, let's do some bigger group events and let's pull in kiddos like Ella that
Yeah.
is not a current client, but I've worked with and love. And
Yeah.
so,
How did
yeah,
how did the current clients respond to Ella coming in?
it's funny because she's the only girl in my wheelhouse right now. So all the boys are just kind of like, they don't get it. They just don't understand all the
Frills.
hoopla and the rainbow bunnies and the outfits and the hats and the scrunchies and Ella comes with a lot of things, which is fabulous, as most teenage girls do, truly. Um, that it's had the biggest impact, honestly, on Amber's girls. They're going to be
Oh.
devastated that she can't make it on Friday to the pool party because they show up every time like, "Where's Ella? Where's Ella?"
Well, we've got some good news on that front.
Ooh,
Heavenly Hannah is going to work some extra hours because Ella is off of school.
right.
And I'm going to table what I was planning with Jordan. And
Oh,
so we're not sure exactly what time they'll be able to make it over, but
okay.
it sounds like Hannah's going to take her and just do kind of a long shift that day. So,
Awesome. Oh,
uh,
Hannah, I will reach out and thank her personally.
yeah, I know we haven't discussed the timeline yet. You start at 1 o'clock, is that right?
Yeah, 1 to 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
maybe 2 o'clock they'll get there, but at least for now.
Okay. Yeah, that works. That works.
Okay. So please continue.
Yes, so I got four of them, including Ella, to a spring training game a few weeks ago, and that was super fun. There were 10 of us total,
Mhm.
because one of my clients brought his brother, and Amber was there with her girls. So yeah, and Hannah obviously was there with Ella. So it was such a good group. I mean, truly, I feel like everybody had a really good time, which is obviously always the goal, but is
Yeah.
really hard in a group of 10. It's hard if I go out with 10 of my girlfriends to make sure everyone has
100%.
a good time, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Absolutely.
so that was really exciting. And
What were any
then,
obstacles? Any obstacles to share that you would do
um,
differently or you learned from or anything like that?
the only real obstacle at the beginning was the heat.
Oh,
It was actually pretty warm and sunny that day because we sit on the lawn, right? Because it's only $15 to sit on the grass and it's
mhm.
perfect. And it's so much more comfortable, I think, for the kiddos. They can stretch out and just kind of be themselves a little bit more, get their wiggles out. So we did get up and take our lap really quickly. We tend to do a couple laps of the ballpark, and these spring training ballparks are a lot smaller than regular ballparks, so they're really perfect. Such a
Yeah.
cute little size. And then to my surprise, so they have the particular one we went to has a cute little mini ball diamond for the kids, like the bases and the batting. And one of my kiddos gravitated over there that just shocked me. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's all take a turn batting. And so I forced all the kids. I mean, most of them were happy to do it. Miss Ella was a little less happy to do
She
it, but
needed
I
her
made
pom
her do it.
poms. She needed her pom poms. That's
She
why.
needed her pom poms, but it was really cute because like it was pretty easy to get all the kids to just once the ball made contact with their bat, we just had them run the bases all the way
Yeah.
around. Well, Ella ran to first and stopped, and she was the last one. And I was like, you know what? I sat here and took pictures of all of you and did my thing. I want to turn. So I got up there and bat. And so then I ran to first and we grabbed each other and finished running the bases, which was just the best way to
Oh
end
my
that little
gosh.
activity.
That
So
that
yeah,
is
it was really
absolutely
fun.
amazing. Oh my gosh. And your
Yeah.
adventures didn't stop at spring training
No,
games. So
no.
continue on.
So, so then, and that, because that was prior to actual spring break. So, actual spring break with multiple, thankfully, even though all my kiddos are at like different schools or homeschooled or whatever, almost all of the schools had the same week off this year. So, again, I was like, all right, I know that can be hard for parents to try and schedule things and, it really upsets their routines. So, I was like, let's plan some fun things. So one afternoon, I took a group bowling, and that was super fun. They all really enjoyed that too. And Miss Amber's like whole family came to that. Both the boys and
I
both the
saw
girls were
her. And
there.
her little girls look like, okay, audience, if you're listening, let me give you some descriptives here. Ella is like 4'8" and 95 pounds. She looked like a giant compared to Miss Amber's little toy doll daughters. I mean,
Yes.
they honestly look like Ella's dolls in the photos
Yeah.
because they are so petite and sweet, angelic faces. I
Mm,
couldn't even function. I mean, Hannah's showing me these photos, and I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
sweet, so cute.
And they're so good because they've worked with my one client for a while now. And so, again, Miss Ella did not want to bowl on her
Mm,
own. So one of Amber's girls went up with her every single time and helped situate the ramp. And
okay.
they often try and do all the things for the kids, but as soon as I say, hey, please make sure Ella gets her own ball, she totally backed off and would just maybe gently do kind of like gesture, do a hand over hand like I would or Amber would.
Mhm.
And then Ella totally got her own ball and brought it over. And
So I'm going to tell you,
yeah,
bowling is her thing with Jordan, her boyfriend.
right, right.
And the process that happens there is she walks up to where the balls are and
Uh-huh.
she will pick up her ball or she'll say, Jordan, and point to
Right,
him and pick up the ball for her.
right,
Then
right.
then she'll escort him to
Yes,
the ramp and she'll
yes.
tell him she will dictate every step for
Oh,
Jordan to
yeah.
do it for her.
Yeah.
So that's
She
probably
did
why.
that. She did that with one of my kiddos too. So I have to tell you, so I was up at the lane helping somebody. I can't remember who. And I looked back because I thought I heard my name. But by the time I looked back, I saw Ella, feet behind me, calling over another client that we'd sent to the bathroom and back by himself. But as he kind of came back up to the group, he got a little like hesitant.
Hmm.
So I see her calling him over, taking my purse off the chair next to her, putting it on the table and patting the chair like, come on over here, come sit down. And he followed all her directions just perfectly. It was so amazing. I was like, thanks, Bean.
The dynamics. are so incredibly adorable. I couldn't
Yes.
love it. It's innocent and
Yeah.
kind-hearted and
Yes. Yeah.
so fun to watch. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. And it was funny because there were a lot of teenage boys there this time, but she really clued in on that one. Like, this one's mine. I was like, is this boyfriend number three?
I mean, I gotta say, she does navigate the boys very, very well. She
She
does.
does. She does. So that was cute. And then we rounded out the week with a pool party at my house.
Mm.
So because I have a community pool here at my condo complex, and it was funny. I was interested to see how that was going to go because often this time of year I can't even find a chair at my pool because all the snowbirds are here.
Mm.
And I was kind of hoping to like ruffle some feathers with kids and noise and things that they're not used to, but they all stuck around. They all loved it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it
And
was
I can't
cool.
remember, was it warm enough that day? It must have been.
It was pretty warm. It was like, I think it was just about 80 that day. And
Okay.
my pool is heated here. So
Okay. So that
the
is a
water
nice
was
day.
very warm. And yeah, and there's a hot tub. The kids love the hot tub. They spend most of their time in the hot tub. So
Oh yeah. That's really, really neat. So
yeah.
I gotta share with you on that token of Ella being kind of one of the only girls that comes into play.
Hmm.
I have been doing some more research on a day program for her once she graduates high school. Now, she didn't have she's still 2 years away from that, which
Right.
is wonderful. But, it's always helpful to have knowledge. Knowledge is power. We sing about it
Yeah.
in kindergarten about knowledge being power. So
Right.
I went with Jordan's mom to explore a day program, and it was one of the ones that came really highly recommended. It's called the One Step Beyond program.
I have heard of this. I think it's next on my list to look into with another client. We're going to go
Okay.
observe
Okay.
to or whatever.
So, very clean facility, very
Okay.
nicely structured, and
Okay.
I believe well run. I loved how the program works. You start in homeroom, then your next couple of hours are in different rooms doing something. You come back to homeroom, you have lunch, and then your next 2 hours are doing something else. So it's kind of structured like a high school day, which is really cool. So it's
Yeah.
familiar, right? The rooms, they had one giant room that looked like a dance room, mirrors on the walls. They have dance class in there. They had one
Nice.
room that looked like a jazz bar, like
Oh,
dimly
wow.
lit, musical instruments all over the walls. Um,
Wow.
sorry for the overhead airplanes here outside today. And then a stage with a band and chill jazz music playing. So like
Oh,
you can go in there and chill, you can go in there and play. I'm sure things are, you know, scheduled at different times, but that was a really cool room. Then a full commercial kitchen to do cooking and teach cooking and have
wow.
culinary classes. And then there's an art room and then a couple of other classrooms. Um, Here are my problems. Those are the pros. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Clean, smelled good, well run. They had a chill area. Um, First room we went to was the art room and the door was locked.
Mm,
That bothered me.
yeah.
We open the door and it's a male teacher, and I've expressed my concern on the podcast about Ella's safety, always thinking of her safety. I do not ever want to think that anyone is going to touch her in a way that is
Right.
inappropriate, right?
Yep.
So, and in this room, the male teacher is working with a girl who is in a wheelchair on drawing, coloring something. And then there's a few other clients coloring at the table. The two aides who were in there were sitting at the far end of the room in chairs, not engaged at all, arms crossed. And I'm
Huh.
thinking, you are the aides in the room and you're not even participating in what's going on, not engaged whatsoever.
Right.
So that kind of bothered me. Then we go on, to the kitchen. The door is locked.
Huh.
That bothers me again. So these little
Yeah.
things, not big deal, and maybe it was just the day. I do want to visit it again. I probably will before the time,
Yeah.
is right.
Yeah.
Um, there were no Ellas. None. There was
Wow.
hardly any girls. The one girl who was in the wheelchair, she wasn't even like really paying attention. She was just kind of not able, to participate. The one
Yeah.
one other girl that I saw was walking on a treadmill the whole time, and they had like a fitness room,
Uh-huh.
really nice state of the art equipment in this fitness room, so you could like work with somebody to do exercises and stuff, which I thought was really cool. But
Yeah.
there was this lack of girls,
Yeah.
period. And I'm trying to find Ella a girl squad. And I
Right.
think that's just important to have. I mean, as a girl yourself, boys are
Yeah.
great, boys are fun, but you
Right.
need you need your girl squad, you know?
Yeah. It's the
And
whole object of my second business.
yes, exactly. So here we are in it's at the conclusion of the tour, and it's Carrie and I again, as I said. And, Carrie's concerns were about, when Jordan gets kind of aggressive or angry, not participatory, how do they handle that? And
Right.
they have a program, they've got people, they, talked her through how they will handle that. And that was comforting for her.
Yeah.
But I said, look, I named all the pros like I just did here. And then I said, bothers me the door was locked. Bothers me your aides aren't engaged. Bothers me that there's no one like my daughter. There's no girls. There's no
Right.
girls.
Yeah.
And, the tour guide lady was kind of like, we do have more girls. I don't know where they are today. I don't know why the doors were locked. That shouldn't have been.
Right.
um, you know, Ella needing an aide who is female predominantly with her most of the time. I mean, I don't know, Miss Laura, tell me your feedback on this. It just bothers me, without a female being around in Ella's presence at any time.
Right.
Like even working at a table, I want a female being there to kind of make sure she's okay. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I mean, did they give you any reason why the doors were locked? I mean, I can't imagine a policy for that, but that's really alarming.
Yeah, so I'd be interested when you go and visit if you have similar or different feedback. I think
Yeah.
it's a really great program, but those, kind of things were just bothersome to me. So I'm going to go back and revisit. But
Yeah.
but get this.
Yeah.
It always helps to talk to people, right? Just talk about what
Yep.
you want in life to make things happen.
Yep.
I'm talking to a dear friend of mine who has, one of her best friends has a niece that has special needs, lives in California, and her mother found her a program at UC Davis. And I'm like,
Oh,
oh, I am sure Ella is probably too low to be able to participate in a college program. I can't imagine what that is. But my friend said, you know what, Carly, just look at ASU. Just see if they have something.
right.
So I'm doing a search on ASU's website, disability classes, anything. And
Yeah.
they have what is called the GATE program. Now,
Okay.
the GATE program is higher, higher functioning. But listen to this. A second program we are working on to develop for individuals with intellectual disabilities will be a comprehensive transition post-secondary program focused on life skills, academic inclusion, and career development. We are currently calling it Pitchfork Scholars, but the name may change before implementation. I have attached a flyer. The plan is to launch fall of 2025, which is a whole year before Ella would even start.
Right.
If you would like to connect with me on Zoom, please use my link below. I hope this was helpful.
Wow. I have goosebumps.
Right? So I have a Zoom set up with this lady for next
Awesome.
week, and I'm going to have her meet Ella on the Zoom
Yeah.
and just get any kind of feedback I can. And I will
Yeah.
come and share this with you. And
Yeah.
good heavens, what if this? What if this is the answer to my prayers? I mean,
Yeah.
even the flyer pitchfork here. Okay, gotta put my glasses on. Pitchfork scholars. So it sounds like they have peer mentors and program buddies, person-centered planning, integration with vocational rehabilitation, community supports, academic advising, career planning, employment preparation. I mean, my mind is blown.
All I can think of is their preschool program that she was in, and how full circle is that for her to start and
I bet.
land at
Yes.
ASU?
I know. And I'm a wildcat, but I'm going to put that past me. That mindset. We're going to get past
I'm
it.
a sun devil.
I know you are. But and Hannah might be at school with Ella at the same time because she'll be doing her
Right,
master's. So
right.
what if they get to cross paths because of
Yeah,
Hannah's program and Ella's program?
right, right.
Oh, it's just it feels so good when something feels so right, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I love that.
Oh, so very exciting news. I will keep you and our audience posted on what I
Yeah,
learn when I do my Zoom. So,
yeah, yeah.
and maybe it could work for any one of your clients if what you're seeing you're not thrilled with in the community.
Yeah, we looked into the STARS community work program the other week. I did a tour there, and it
What'd you
sounds
think?
like I was actually really impressed.
Okay.
They work with two big businesses, Hospice of the Valley, which I think is the biggest hospice in the nation, they said, and then or in the Southwest, I can't remember. And then they work with Cox. So 2 days a week they get deliveries, and we witness these like giant, and I mean giant boxes of like the most tangled nightmare mess of cords that you can envision, and they have to go through and sort them and determine which ones are Cox and which ones are not. And then out of the Cox ones, they go through and they sort those into their similar categories, and they clean them, they rewind them up, they clean the
Wow.
remotes. They do they detect which remotes are damaged and which ones aren't. And this one gal, the guy taking us through the tour, like we're all watching, and like we couldn't even tell why some of these remotes were defecto, and like she had to point out why, and it was just like these little minute details. So I was honestly really impressed by what was going on over there. And then they do have another program at their Choya campus. Um, that's a little bit more of like a day program. Like this community work was more, job oriented, and some
Okay.
folks will stay there forever. Some folks will hone their work skills and work on their resumes and
Okay.
find actual community work out in the community. And they work with, I don't know, 50, 80, some big number of companies doing multiple different things.
Wow,
So
that's great.
it sounded like there were a lot of different levels and a lot of different opportunities for growth. The kiddo doesn't, if they're starting off from a lower,
Hmm.
standpoint, it's not like they're stuck there forever. They can work through
Graduate.
that one. And yeah,
So
yeah.
their
So
big purpose is to
mhm,
give them some sort of jobs,
yeah.
some sort of vocation, and keep moving them up as they get more abilities to do more things, right?
Yeah, yeah, and just that quality of life and that pride in their work, and just, seeing all of them working in that warehouse was like, wow, like they show up to their job and they seemed happy to be there, and they're kind of joking with each other a little bit, and it
Yeah.
was cool.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm still struggling to see Ella doing that, but that's my problem, not hers,
And
usually.
and that's how the parents of the client I was with were kind of feeling like. And I was like, he's surprised us before, and I think he's super capable. And yeah, he's not going to start there tomorrow, but it's definitely something to strive for.
Yeah. Okay. And then
Yeah.
what was the other campus like?
The other campus we have not toured yet, so I've not seen that one, but I'm told it's more of just like a kind of like a school environment, like just day programmy
Okay.
thing, and just
Okay.
yeah, for definitely for lower functioning.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's just so hard when you're so happy where you are and you don't
Right.
want it to change
Yeah.
and there's fear in the unknown.
Yep.
So I don't know, I
Yeah.
just gotta pray that all of the right pieces will be put into place and that, the right opportunity will present itself. I mean, I feel like this ASU opportunity could be the answer I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we'll
Okay.
see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks, I'm trying to mute it because of the loud private airlines that are flying over my head into the airport. Um, so Miss Laura, catch us up to speed on the other side of your career path.
So the women's group really truly is very quickly becoming a full-on second business that I was not expecting. I just held my fourth in-person event this past weekend, which now I send out to the text message thread that the women that have signed up for. So I send out invites there first so they get access before I make it public and market it public. And the sisterhood sold out this event within hours. So I never even got to make it public.
Amazing. How many are
Yeah.
we talking here? How many ladies are you chatting
So
with?
I had it's been interesting because at one point I had nine sign up and then I had four cancel, three of them at the last minute. So that always bums me out, but I'm working through, disappointment and understanding that whoever's meant to be here is whoever is here. And honestly, the group of five that we had was super sweet and super intimate. And I feel like a lot of good conversations were had. And it seemed like everyone had really good readings this time, which is usually the case. Um, but yeah, it was really cool. And then I'm so I had mentioned something to one of the sisters months ago, like we're talking middle of the fall, last fall, as like sort of a pipe dreamy thing for the future. And then we didn't talk about it for a long time. And I was honestly hoping that she forgot about it because I've been so stressed and overwhelmed. But she brought it up a few weeks ago and was like, hey, so I have access to this thing and I can make it happen. So, long story short, I am planning my first retreat in June.
No
So
way!
yeah, I've already put in a lot of hours planning and coordinating with people to see who I can get there. And I think Miss Amber is going to be involved again as well.
Amazing.
And originally I thought I'd shoot for the summer solstice, midsummer kind of a thing. I thought that would
Yeah.
be fun. And then I realized that's got to be right around the same weekend I held my very first Zoom last year. So it's also like a 1 year anniversary.
Yes. Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
so yeah, so
So,
it's exciting.
I love hearing the word retreat. I just got back from a retreat.
Ooh,
2 nights in Sedona.
okay.
At a it's a so Carter going to Brophy, the Mothers Guild offers retreats twice a year to all the Mothers Guild members.
Awesome.
And so this is my senior year for Carter. I was
Right.
grouped off and kind of like what you were just saying. We had, hang on, we had 15 moms
Wow.
per class that were going.
Okay. Okay.
And upon meeting at the first meeting, we then lost 3 moms.
Yeah.
They were just like, oh, this is too much because you kind of meet you're going to plan your meals because the senior class is in charge of one meal over the weekend of the retreat.
Okay.
And then we have to do a skit and we need swag. Kind of need the idea is your group comes up with a theme and you dress in that theme for the weekend and center
Yeah.
around that theme. So because we're the class of 24, we did 24 karat gold was our
Love
theme.
it. Cute.
And so, we're at our cabin, we're playing Bruno Mars 24 karat. We had it all decorated, poster with all of our pictures, that kind of thing, super cute. And then when we hosted our dinner, our table centerpieces and tablecloths were all, gold 24 karat themed around that. So very
Cool.
cute. And
Nice.
then we had to do a skit because the skit kind of bonds you
Right.
and puts people outside of their comfort zone. So we had a couple more drop. So we started with 15 and then we ended up with 10 that ended up coming.
Okay.
But it was
Yeah.
honestly the best 10. And it was,
Yeah. It always happens the way it's meant to. It
yeah,
really
and it was
does.
more intimate. And we were like kind of grouped together in this one cabin where we would have had to have spread out more if we were 15. So it was
Right.
nice to be all together. And those who were a little more nervous about the skit came out of their shell. And I mean, I've learned so much from these women, and I got this tall, blonde Irish Catholic beauty shared this lovely prayer that her father used to say to her, and it's about facing fear and how you should not go into tomorrow with fear. Just know that God has your back and you'll be okay. I'm not
Yeah.
going to say anymore because I'll cry. But it was wonderful. All facets of the retreat were really wonderful. So I'm sharing it with you and giving you my take on it so that, maybe there's something that you can take a little nugget that might, you know,
Yeah.
give you
Thank
a
you.
little something to use if you want it. But
Yeah.
um so yeah, I that's amazing. Where will the retreat be held, or have you not gotten that far yet?
It's going to be up in Payson.
Wonderful. Great time of year to be there
Yes.
because it'll be
Yes.
120 here.
Right. Hopefully not in June, hopefully. But yeah.
Yeah, maybe so, maybe so. Well,
Yeah.
will you please update us on more information about the retreat as it comes into fruition?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'm sure you want to keep some things kind of on the down low for those who are attending, but maybe
Right.
little
Right.
pieces of information to entice anyone who would want to participate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Um, we have only a couple minutes left, so we're going to close out with remembering that a grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. And
Yes.
Nicole is not here with us today, but she would say to take a moment and write down all those things that you're grateful for, because
Yeah.
even in the darkest of moments, there is something.
Yes.
So I'm going to say that I am very grateful for this lovely day that I can sit outside and share this podcast with you, Miss Laura, that you were able to make time, even though you're under the weather, that you
Yeah.
could come on and talk with us today. So thank
Yeah.
you.
I'm grateful for this time too. I always gain new knowledge from it. And I love voicing our dreams and getting them out there. I'm grateful to have a platform to do that. So thank you.
Amen to that. Get them out there. Let the universe hear us. Let it hear
Yes.
us. Woo! All right, fans and friends, we are going to close out with our beloved guitarist. So let's hear it. Ryan, close us out today. Thanks everyone for listening. We appreciate you.